Even has a lion on it. Rawr. But sometimes the upgrades work, sometimes they don't work.
So yay, I'm not gonna gash my face open. Necessarily necessary? Good morning, guys. So today we're heading from Picacho Peak State Park, where we were last time, and we're heading all the way up to Winslow, Arizona, and we're going to be staying at, what's it called?
Homolovi.
Homolovi State Park there. Super excited about that. Looks like a really nice area. I think we're going to be saying goodbye to the cactuses today, which is really sad. We stopped here at a travel center in Eloy, just outside of the Picacho State Park area, and we picked up an Amazon package. We're going to be doing a couple little like upgradey things to the RV, so we'll open that package a bit later. But if you didn't know, on Amazon you can have it shipped to an Amazon locker. In this case it's at a truck stop, which is super convenient for parking and getting there on the way on a travel day and stuff like that. But yeah, you just say that you're here on the app and it opens the locker door for you and you just grab your package and go. So really convenient for RVers. Love that feature of Amazon. Sometimes you just need to get stuff on Amazon. It's not easy to find some of the stuff in like hardware stores around here, especially in smaller towns and stuff. So yeah, we got that. We're gonna open that later, do a little upgrade. But for now, we're heading off to Winslow. Alright, so we're at the Love's truck stop here. We made it through Phoenix, which was a little tight on traffic, but we did it. Also, side note, we just kind of realized it today. We should have known, but we are using the app. It's called Trucker Path, and it's meant for like truckers, obviously, Trucker Path. But it shows you all of the like big rig parking that's coming up in your area on a map, and it also shows you, oh boy, Chloe needs to get out of here, we better hurry up. It also shows you all the truck stops coming up, which is really handy. Anyways, Trucker Path, it's a good app to have. They also tell you like what kind of food is at the truck stop, if they have scales, if they have air, and all this kind of stuff. So check that out if you're interested. Okay, we're gonna get Chloe out of here and stretch our legs a bit. And then we're gonna open something from our Amazon package because it's a very convenient spot to set this one up. All right. Does that feel better, Chloe? So we got our big package in here. There's a couple of different things that we got in here. Oh boy. Okay, let's see, which one do we want to take out of here? This is the one. So this is one of the items that we got from Amazon. It's a tire pressure monitoring system. This one actually got pretty decent reviews on Amazon. It's not one of the fancy ones. Like this was, I think, $60, which I'm pretty sure is the cheapest available on Amazon. They go up to like $250, $300. I honestly didn't do a ton of research before buying this, but it does say that it's wireless and everything, and that it goes up to, I think, a range of 35 feet or 45 feet. I can't remember which version I bought actually. I might have bought the 45-foot version, but yeah, apparently you just throw on the little caps onto your tires and then it'll read it from in the car. Oh, and another cool thing about this one, honestly, I don't know if all of them are like this, but this is the like monitor that you set up in the truck. And apparently, so that's where it'll read your tire pressure. And then this is a solar charger, so you don't even have to plug this in. You can plug it in if you want to, apparently, but you just set this on the dash and it'll charge itself just from the solar from the dash. So really cool. Oh, here's the little things. What do these go on? They go on, what's it called? Valve stem. So these go right on the valve stem of your tires, and this set comes with 4. You can also get sets that come with 6 and stuff like that. We only needed 4 because our truck will tell us the tire pressure of the truck tires, so we just needed the 4 for the trailer. It seems pretty easy. Plug and go.
Okay, they're all installed. One of them is reading 79. We want to be running at 80 PSI, so that one's looking good, but apparently they're motion activated, so we got to get driving first a bit here for them to set. So we're going to hit the road again here, see if this guy starts updating at all, and we'll go from there.
All right, so we're all checked in here to a campsite at Homolovi State Park. It's pretty nice. It's really open, obviously. It's like desert, flat area, so obviously it's pretty open, but it's been pretty nice.
Yeah, it's right off the I-40. You literally merge off and come here, so it's convenient if you're passing through to Flagstaff. It's also on the way we're taking up to Utah as we head our way towards Arches, so that's super convenient. And it has electric and water in your site, so that's pretty convenient as well. It's gonna be a good spot to get some tasks done. Obviously, you saw we got the tire pressure monitor thing installed. It worked pretty well. They all started reading in the end, at least.
Yeah, I know. In the instructions it says you just have to start driving for like 5 minutes and then they'll turn on and then it'll read it, but it took like 20 or 30 minutes, so I don't know, kind of weird. We're gonna see if they work well. Anyways, these are our next little upgrade. They just simple little wire domes that go over top of our furnace so that flying insects don't get in there and make a mess.
Yeah, they came with little springs to attach in there. Seemed kind of weird to use, not quite sure. So we bought some just real cheap Walmart twist wire here. We're gonna try and find a way that we can rig it up through the grill and hook it on. We're gonna give it a whirl, see how they look, and see if we can get it wired up. Fingers crossed.
And also, these ones that we ordered came... Oh, did it break? Oh, darn. So using that wire to attach these didn't go as expected. It was way too, like, I don't know, it just broke whenever you tried to twist it. Probably not the right kind of wire that you'd want to use, I guess. But honestly, we just used the springs and it worked so good. Like, way better than expected. They're nice and tight and like, they do move around, but not too much, and I think going down the road it's going to be like completely fine. It was a tiny bit like finicky trying to get the spring attached from here to like the inside here, but once you got it done, I mean, they're staying in place. All right, so we're trying to get away from the wind.
Yeah, priority one.
All right, so we're going to check out some of the settlement ruins and things. We're heading to Homolovi I. There's 2 different settlement areas, and we'll be checking out Homolovi II next, but apparently this one you don't want to visit in the wind, and it's getting windy. There's a red flag warning up for wind for, I think, tomorrow and the next day. Today is also very windy, as you can tell. This one is the smaller of the 2, so it'll be nice to get to see this one, get to see what it's like, and then go see the big one later on as well.
And this is the first settlement as well, I believe. I think this one dates back to around 580, so quite a long time ago, whereas Homolovi II, the later settlement when they moved to the upper Mesa area, that one is dated between 1200 and 1480, so quite a bit of a big gap there, 1,000 years basically, but very interesting history.
So these settlements were occupied by the Hopi people. They're the indigenous people here in this area, and apparently there's some artifacts you can go and find, obviously not taken because of that, but you can find them like pottery shards and stuff. So we're gonna be looking around for some artifacts, and oh my gosh, this wind, I'm so sorry. Also, somebody in the parking lot told us that they saw a snake at the beginning of this trail down to the ruins, so we're keeping an eye out. Wow, there's so many pottery shards, like they're everywhere.
Alright, the next big thing we're going to install here is a new RV door lock. We bought a nice heavy duty one with a keypad on it, and it has an actual steel striker as well in there. The one like we had on our motorhome on our Class C actually broke because it was a cheap casting, so we bought a heavy duty steel one, and we're going to use this to replace it. I'm sure most of you have seen our RV break-in video by now, but the lock does work, but someone jammed a screwdriver in there and kind of damaged it. And one of the commenters actually mentioned that they used theirs for a month when something similar happened, and then it stopped working down the road. So today, we're putting in a keyless entry. So this should be really easy here, just 4 little screws. It says it's a 10-minute job on the box. We'll just back it out here. One thing I noticed is that it didn't come with any real sealant. It's just gonna suck onto the door when it screws through like this. So we ran to Walmart here, got my hair cut as you can see the other time, but we also bought a sealant that I'm gonna put around the inner door there. That way when it sucks in, it'll just have a little bit extra clear sealant around as well, because if any moisture or rain were to come down the outside and be hitting on top, there's a chance some of it could start seeping in here and then your door is gonna wreck down the road. So I figured a little line of sealant wouldn't hurt either. Those 4 bolts undone. There's also 2 that hold in the metal latch on this far side that I had to take out just so there was a bit more room to play with. This should just come out here. Voila, there's, look, styrofoam there. I gotta imagine there's some wood in here. Maybe this is just a full styrofoam door. But if you're watching The Shining ever and you've seen the scene where he comes through the door with the axe, this would not keep out an axe intruder, but hopefully the lock will at least. So we're gonna take this nice new lock here. It looks pretty cool, even has a lion on it. Rawr. And we're gonna put these wires through here first. And we're gonna try and hope she lines up nicely. I'm gonna have to, let's see. Wires come this way. Big face this way. Ooh, clunk. There we are. Let's attach these wires first. This should give us a beep letting us know our keypad's activated. Beep! Keypad should be armed. I'm now gonna tuck the wires in here, attach the 4 bolts, and that's like 90% of the work at least. Okay, so on further inspection, it actually did have a nice little rubber gasket around it there that'll suck on. I guess they know what they're doing. It makes sense in reality. So I'm gonna opt not to use my sealant I bought. I don't want to make a mess on the door or anything. Jayco themselves didn't actually have it sealed or anything, so they must have had a rubber suck on as well. So even easier. You don't gotta buy it, don't have to use it. Just these 4 bolts, pop it all in, switch it out. Easy. Okay, so I got all the screws in. I used a screwdriver to hand sink them super tight. Everything's lined up. Maybe it's too tight's the problem, but when I hold the lock button here, you can hear it. The bolt doesn't come out because it's too snug in there. So I'm gonna loosen it off and try, but I might need to actually pull it out and fight it a little more. 10 minutes to install. Maybe not 10 minutes to get it working for me though. So a bit of a bummer. I'm taking it back out here. But this mechanism is super stiff like it was in the door. I thought maybe I just had screwed it in too tight, but either it's causing too much friction in here where it comes out possibly, but also the gearing might just not be working very well. Like I can press the lock here again, and it doesn't even budge coming out of there. So, I mean, there's screws that this plate comes off, and then this plate under here unscrews and comes off. I could try and diagnose it. Like I could take a metal file out and take it to this, try and thin that out, and maybe it would move easier. Or maybe like I can see where the arm works in there, but honestly, that seems like a lot of work. I might damage the product. And we spent like $200 on Amazon on this, so I think we're just gonna try and return it, buy a new one, and hope the new one works proper. A little bit of a bummer though. We were really looking forward to having a keyless entry. We took in the door all apart. Now I have to reinstall the old one. And yeah, a bit of a letdown. But sometimes the upgrades work, sometimes they don't work. So we'll put the door back together and we're on to the next upgrade.
We made our way down the road to Homolovi II to go and check it out, and we were told that it would be much bigger, much more things to see. Honestly, we were expecting a little bit more than what we saw there, but it was still cool to see all the ruins. And they had the kivas there too, which were like little basement areas that were dug into the ground. Alright, so our 4th and final Amazon upgrade is going to be some cabinet hardware. This one is more of just a baby-proofing thing because this is what our cabinet hardware used to look like. I like it. It's just like matte black. It's nice, it's square. But it's also very pointy. It's got some real pointy edges there. So as you can imagine, as Chloe's learning to walk and walking around like on the dinette couches and walking along the couch and stuff and along the cabinets, it could be really, really dangerous if she were to fall and hit her face and hit one of these pointy edges. So we've opted to change all of them out, at least for like the bottom covers and stuff, to these ones. So again, like matte black, but these ones have a rounded edge, so she's less likely to like permanently harm her face if she were to fall on it. Honestly, I do prefer the ones that it came with over these ones. I just think they look a little cleaner, a little nicer, but these are gonna be way safer. So I've changed them all out already. So this is what they look like installed. Again, they used to be like this. So again, I do prefer that look compared to this look, but these are a lot safer, like I said. So really easy to install. You just take out these screws, take out the handle, put the new handle on, and screw them back on. Like, it took me like minutes to do all of the cabinets. So really easy upgrade and a lot safer. Right, Chloe? Are you safer? Say yay, I'm not gonna gash my face open. Alright, well that's it for our 4 Amazon upgrades that we're doing to our RV today. A lot of you in the comments told us that we should be putting the mesh dome on our furnace so that those flying insects don't get in there and make nests. We had thought about getting one for our hot water tank and our fridge vent as well, but we couldn't find one that would fit properly, and we don't want to just put some non-fitting properly ones on the back of our RV and stuff, so we're gonna keep an eye out for that. Again, we don't really know if it's necessarily necessary because you can like open up those hatches and kind of clean them out if something were to happen, whereas the furnace, I mean, you can't get in there unless you break all the seals and take the screws out and everything. So definitely glad that we did that. Definitely glad that we baby-proofed our handles for the cabinets. Our tire monitoring system is working great and it's showing the tire pressure, so that's also good. Again, a lot of you told us in the comments that we need to be monitoring our tire pressure, which we agree, and we're super glad that we have that installed, especially since we're going through so many different climates, and you know, when your tires are cold, they're going to have a much lower tire pressure than if they're hot, so it's a good idea to kind of keep an eye on those and make sure they're in the right range. And then even though the door lock didn't work, we're going to be returning that to Amazon as soon as possible here and buying a new one, because I'm really excited about the idea of having a keyless entry and not having to always bring your keys with you. But yeah, I hope that gave you guys some ideas of what you can do to your RV, some really easy upgrades or modifications you can make. Anyways, that's it for this video, and we'll see you in the next one. See ya!